In the Dash Lab, we've set up Apple Remote Desktop on the instructor station so that you would have access to classroom functions that are available in many classrooms that use Windows PCs on campus. These functions on campus are provided by other software, and Apple Remote Desktop actually has the same function, so we decided to implement that for the Dash Lab. Apple Remote Desktop is available down here on the taskbar and on the side of the screen, and it allows you to observe what's going on all of the student PCs, or take control of one of the student PCs and help them out without leaving the teacher station. By doing that also with Observe and Control, you can show what another student is doing on another station through the projector to all the students together, which is really useful when somebody's doing something or wants to demonstrate how they figured out how to do something. And it's fairly simple to use, but it doesn't always work perfectly. It sometimes requires you to take a couple of steps to make the functions work. Let's go in and have a look. All right, first it has a very simple password. I couldn't get around this password for all the different users who might log in, so I made it as simple as possible. It's just DASH. I wouldn't have required a password if I didn't have to. All right, and when it comes up, it shows you the all computers first, and you can see directly below all computers is a list for the Dash Lab at STLM36. This includes only the student stations. Next to it, it shows you the status, and it says that they've been idle for a while, and that it shows you the programs that are being used primarily by each person, the person who's logged in by name. Of course, these are mostly all logged in as guest, because I logged them in as guest. And once you get to this, if you want to use one of the operations that are available, you would click on one that's in the list and Command A to select all of them. And if I click Observe button from here, you can see what's going on all 20 PCs. And from here, if you wanted to pinpoint one of the PCs, you could easily see what's going on. And if you wanted to control that PC, up at the top, this button that is the control button. We'll go back to that in a second. Under the control menu. All right. So several of the functions that we have available here back at the main list screen are Observe, control PCs individually, lock the screen, share your screen to all of the PCs, and send a message to them. And you can also copy a file from your PC to the student PCs if you like. And we've taken some of those functions and we've shortened and abbreviated all that's required to open them and saved it to this right-hand side column of functions. So if you double-click on one of those saved functions for lock all screens are already selected. So all you have to do is press lock. And if we go back to the Observe, eventually they're all going to show as unavailable. To unlock all screens, you go back to this and click Unlock, and all screens are now unlocked again. To project the instructor stations screen to all of the PC screens, you can just share screen to all. And as you can see, you can now see your screen on all of their screens. When you're sharing a screen, it's very important to take note that the stop button for this pops up in a separate window. You have to find that separate window and click stop to stop sharing your screen to all of the PCs. There's a button called Wake All, and this button is very helpful if the other functions from Remote Desktop are not working perfectly. So if you click Wake All, it runs, and as soon as it's finished, you can see in the history down here every command that you've just run will show the results from that command under the history section, and it looks like it succeeded in waking up all of the PCs. There are also PC management functions that you could use, but of course you wouldn't want to necessarily use them during a class, but at the end of a class or in between classes, you might want to restart all of the PCs, and you just double click on it and click restart them all. If you're done for the day or you're done with your class, you also might want to shut down all of the PCs in case students have left them on or left them logged in. It would be very nice to just shut them down for them. And there's a function here called login as guest. That's the function I use to log on most of the PCs. It requires extra steps, and those are in the written instructions. Basically, you have to reboot all the PCs. As soon as they come back, you press Wake All PCs, and when Wake All PCs succeeds, then you can log all PCs in as guest. You would only do this if you had a group that was coming to the Dash Lab that did not have a campus login, so you would use it fairly rarely. I will use it frequently for managing the PCs, and so I need it there on the screen. All right. I'm going to restart them all. Click Restart, and you can quickly see that they become unavailable on this screen, but it doesn't take them long before all 20 are back around and connecting again. Only a minute or so. So that's basically how you would use remote desktop. All right, thank you very much.